Hey folks, so last night I had the pleasure of seeing both Ms. Neon as well as Poppy, and this is going to be my video recounting that. So for those of you who don't know, Ms. Neon is a trans woman and a rapper. She's really interesting because her style of music basically combines elements of synthwave and hip-hop, which has been done before, but like I've never quite heard anyone do it in the way that she does. It's really unique. It's really interesting. I don't know. There's just a lot about it that is very appealing to me. It's very heavy. Like it punches you in the face, and I feel like it's just another example of what we're seeing in music now, at least in popular music, with I guess Gen Z, the Zoomers, as it were. With melding all of these styles that have been really popular throughout the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So you have synthwave, which is basically 80s retro stuff, very inspired by the works of John Carpenter and Ennio Morricone, and lots of other horror filmmakers and soundtrack writers from that period of time. We have industrial metal and new metal as well, like for example 9 Inch Nails, Korn, Slipknot. There's a lot of influence from that, as well as hardcore punk and pop punk from the 2000s, and even some pop artists or artists that are punk that or that are pop that verge on the border of punk or rock, like for example Avril Lavigne. Like there's a huge mixture of all these different influences coming together to basically inspire this new generation of artists that really connects with a lot of people in Gen Z, at least from what I've seen. I mean, I'm a millennial, but I'm kind of on the cusp of millennial and Gen Z. Like a lot of people who I'm friends with are kind of like right there, almost on the end, you know? But Ms. Neon and Poppy as well both play into that, and I really enjoyed both of their performances. Ms. Neon, she gave a very intense and sensual performance. She came out wearing a Fuck the Police shirt, which makes sense because her biggest song, at least I think it's her biggest song, is called Cop Fucker, and she came out also wearing like a police hat, and she had a guitarist with her. He was also manning the keyboards and like the sampling machine. I forget what his name is now. It began with an L. It might have been like Leon or Lionel or something like that. I freaking forget. And he was great. He was wearing like a bondage harness with no shirt, and both of them were very sexy. So really good shit from them. Then of course we come to the main event, Poppy. She was fucking awesome. I have videos on my Twitter as well as on Instagram, I think, of the performance last night. She basically played like all of the songs that you'd expect, all the big hits. Well, I don't know if you can call them hits, but like the songs that you would expect her to play, she definitely pulled out. You know, I Disagree, Flux, Bite Your Teeth, which was that was actually an encore song. I'm not going to list out all the tracks that she played, but it was a pretty long show, honestly. Her set was about an hour, if not over an hour long. It was at Theater Corona here in Montreal. Pretty good venue. I really like going to Corona. The only downside is that the beer there is incredibly fucking expensive. It's like $10 for a fucking beer, which is asinine. Like, if I want to pay money to get drunk, I'm just going to get blasted before I go to the show. There's no fucking way I'm paying $10 for multiple beers over the course of the night. I bought one last night. That was it. But yeah, performance-wise, just incredible charisma. Like these guys, like Poppy herself, as well as her backing band, very clearly love what they do. Like they're very good performers, and I guess part of that you can owe to Poppy's YouTube career, which of course has been on the go for years now. That's kind of where she comes from originally, as being like a kind of weird, almost like David Lynchian-esque YouTuber with this strange robotic personality. But she comes across very charismatic despite that, with just like that tinge of weird, you know? And she definitely brings that forward in her performance. There was a point during the night where she kind of stopped to do a brief intermission and just kind of address the crowd and talk to people. And there was a guy there dressed like a pirate, and she reached out to him, or like she spoke to him and asked him, "Oh, you're a pirate. Is there an application? I'd like to become a pirate." Something like that, but you know, in like the monotone kind of robotic voice that she has. And I don't know, it was just like a really nice, sweet moment, honestly. But yeah, her backing band, just fucking incredible. Like, these guys, very, very talented at what they do. They came out wearing all black suits. I don't know if you call them suits. I guess like, they almost look like prison outfits in a way. It looked like they were wearing prison outfits and do-rags. Just a very interesting aesthetic, but like all black, you know? And they were very, very into it, especially the guitarist who was on the left stage. I think he was the lead guitarist. Saw him switch axes multiple times. He had like an 8-string and a couple different 6 strings, I'm assuming, in different tunings, and they were fucking awesome. Just really, really talented guys. And yeah, Poppy herself, she interesting, like, aesthetically, you know, wearing this kind of bombastic, but at the same time very what's the word I'm looking for? I guess simple dress, but then combined with like these giant fucking platform goth boots that, you know, give her a few extra inches of height, of course. Also very into like dancing, doing a lot of dancing on stage. That was awesome. And the backdrop, I should mention that as well, was a giant pinwheel that was just spinning and spinning, kind of like it was trying to like hypnotize the audience, right? And that was super cool too. There were a lot of flashing lights, which I do have some friends who unfortunately have epilepsy, so it's something that you know, I'm kind of torn on, because like flashing lights are pretty cool, but for people who have epilepsy who might want to go to a show like this, it's kind of like they're shit out of luck, and that really sucks. So I don't know if there's a way to kind of like have some kind of best of both worlds approach there, but that's like really the only negative that I can think of. Yeah, just honestly just a fucking great show. And this was also my first big show back in Montreal since last year, and since restrictions have lifted, because of course with COVID, I mean, everything's been kind of fucked up. But to come back and like for this to be like the very first thing that I see after months and months and months, I think, my God, 5 months now of not seeing anything, because of course I uploaded the Guar video a couple days ago, and that was the last big show that I went to, and that was in Toronto, and that was back in November. So this is the first time that I've seen a show this year of this scale, you know, a big name recognition touring artist coming through. And it was fucking awesome. I loved every second of it. As you can probably tell, I have the shirt, the tour shirt here. It's just like a picture of her in some like weird fucking dress, and then all the tour dates on the back. Don't know how well you can see that, but there it is. And on top of that, I also got this pin, which I haven't taken out of the bag yet. It's just the logo. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's my experience seeing Poppy and Ms. Neon at Corona Theater last night, March 29th, 2022. So yeah, this weekend I'm going to see Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats and King Buffalo. Not super familiar with King Buffalo, but I'm a pretty big fan of Uncle Acid, so I'm super excited to see them. And I'll definitely be making a video talking about my experience seeing them. I'm going with Erin, so hopefully I can get her to come in and kind of talk about this as well. But until next time, peace out. Thanks for watching.